I always love when people go against the meta. When I look through a division and there's a Kung Fu black belt in the mix, it makes me want to see that guy succeed. Anderson Silva was always so interesting to me. In a division full of wrestlers and high-level strikers, the guy went 16-0 as a Wing Chun striker. Hands up, chin down will always be the preferred method. There's a reason it's so effective, which is why when I see this...
Standing at 40%, Dillashaw 30%. Ducks out of the way again, and counters nicely.
I automatically want to know more. One bantamweight in particular combined footwork patterns based off past fighters like Muhammad Ali and Willie Pep, and created a style that took over 30 rounds of study from the exact same camp to defeat. Some fighters have a style built to emphasize their strengths, some fighters have a style built to capitalize on their opponent's weaknesses. But Dominick Cruz, his style was built completely out of necessity. When the guy started his MMA career, there was no 135 division, and there was no 145 division, meaning there was a period in time when Dominick Cruz was a 142-pound lightweight. So his strategy became to use all of their size and strength against them. So here we are, middle of round 2, you've been beating the shit out of the air, and now you're exhausted. Now we're on an even playing field. The guy, with help from his coaches, essentially created his own martial art, and he did it to make sure he couldn't get hit by fighters twice his goddamn size. He's probably best remembered for his dart. I think him and Eric Del Fierro call it the slide. It's similar to what Eddie Alvarez does, only I think Cruz does it a lot better. For a long time, his style revolved around keeping his head off the center line. His appearance on Rogan was very fascinating to me, getting to hear him break down his style for seemingly the first time in real detail.
As long as I don't fight on the center line all the time, it takes away almost all weapons from all styles. Boxing is probably the one style that flows most off the center line. But when we're talking about Muay Thai, or we're talking about wrestling, or we're talking about judo, or we're talking about almost every other martial art, they attack down a straight line.
Genius way of looking at the game. Watching all this boxing tape, kickboxing, Muay Thai, etc., and saying, yeah, that's great, but you're all essentially attacking the same way, was very ahead of the game for its time. Even with wrestling and BJJ, they shoot their takedowns in a straight line, obviously. So Cruz's game was all about footwork and head movement, never stop moving, never stop giving them things to think about, never stop feinting, and more important than anything else, the golden rule, don't let them touch you.
They're already twice as big as you, and on fight day, they're going to be 3 times as big as you. So you better not get touched, you better not get grabbed, and you better not get hit at all. Don't let them touch you because they're too big. If they take you down, your energy is going to be zapped by the time you do get up, if you get up. And if they hit you, they're big and strong, and they're probably going to put you out. So you have to use all that strength, all that size against them and make it their weakness instead of their strength.
He's also a weird example of sticking to the basics and not sticking to the basics. What are the most important strikes in MMA? I think most would agree with the jab and leg kicks, especially with the calf kick being a staple right now. Does Cruz have a good jab? Absolutely. Does Cruz have good leg kicks? Definitely. Does he do these things in a remotely conventional way? Not even a little bit. Dominick Cruz has definitely had his ups and downs in the cage. I feel like over the last few years he's become the Tony Romo of MMA, extremely talented but more of a meme than a player. He also hasn't helped himself at times.
And he's trying to gas Khabib out because he's taking shots, but they're not the worst shots you could take. He's covered up. It just doesn't look good.
I don't think he's trying to gas Khabib out. I think he's getting smashed.
Side note, I actually understand what he meant by that. McGregor visibly was not making a huge effort to get back to his feet, and after the fight, Kavanaugh actually said that was the plan. If we get taken down, stay safe, don't get caught, and use the beginning of the round to get another chance at knocking him out. They were essentially banking on Khabib getting tired from whooping Conor's ass. I remember Chael criticizing this, but really, what other strategy did they have? I actually thought using a rope-a-dope kind of strategy on a grappler was an interesting counterpunch, and I think that's what Cruz was getting at. He just explained it in the worst way humanly possible, and now it lives on in memes forever. But maybe because of the memes, some of the fan base out there doesn't give Cruz the respect he rightfully deserves, for the fighter that he was, for the fighter that he even still is. The guy out-footworked TJ Dillashaw and had him whiffing on shots like he just threw them on a slip and slide. The guy went 11 rounds with Uriah Faber and won 9 of them. The guy was in title contention until he was 37, years after going through arguably the worst series of injuries in the history of sports. He's tough, sure. Everyone's tough in this sport. But Cruz is a fighting historian. He can perfectly articulate your strengths and weaknesses, how they match up with his style, and how the fight will play out right in front of you.
You're gonna knock me out, that's how you're gonna beat me? Nobody even hits me.
He's kind of like the class president talking shit. He just kind of bullies you with the truth. The class president in this case being the greatest bantamweight of all time.